All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Mackenzie. This is my new Booktube channel. Welcome. This is my first video that I'm making, and I'm super excited. So for my first video, I thought it would make the most sense to do the Booktube Newbie Tag, so that you can get to know a little bit about me and the types of things that I like when it comes to books. All right. So what I thought we'd do is just go through each of these questions and I'd answer them to the best of my ability. All right, let's get started. So I think this is a very common answer when it comes to this question from what I've seen on other Booktube newbie videos, but I think it's a very true answer. So I really wanted to start this channel just to be able to talk to people about books and to be able to share my favorite books with people. I love the idea of also getting to know other types of books and other authors and genres. I love the idea of being able to expand my interest when it comes to books. I think the main unique thing that I can bring to Booktube is just my interest in books. So I like a lot of different types of books. So I think my favorite type of book is a classic. I love like Charles Dickens, Jane Austen, the Brontes, Elizabeth Gaskell, all those types of authors. But I've also recently fallen in love with fantasy, so what you can see behind me, my Lord of the Rings collection. I love Lord of the Rings, absolutely love it. I also recently read Harry Potter for the first time. It was just this last summer that I read it, and I fell in love with those books too, so that's a new find for me, which has been so much fun, is just getting into different fantasy worlds. But I also like YA books, and I'd like to read more of those. So I'd say that I can bring a lot of different types of books into discussion on Booktube. So I think this answer connects to the first question in a lot of ways. I think what I'm most excited about is just being able to discuss my favorite books with people, and also to be able to find out about new books and find out about new authors or genres that I hadn't considered before. So I'd say that's probably the thing that I'm most excited about when it comes to this Booktube channel. That's a tough question, but I think the reason that I love reading is just that books transport me into new worlds. I get to know new characters that often feel like they're real people to me, and I also get to discover new lands that also feel just so real to me, and I get to incorporate that into my own life. I often find that when I'm reading books, the maybe really good quotes that I read from those books, or just different concepts that come up from those books, I get to incorporate that into my own life, and it's so much fun. I love it. So I think that's why I love reading. It's just that I'm able to go into another world and feel like it's so real. So like I said earlier, I hadn't read the Harry Potter series until very recently, so most people, from what I've seen on these Booktube newbie tags, they often say that Harry Potter was what got them into reading, but for me that wasn't the case. I only just read them and I love them. What got me into reading the American Girl series and the Little House on the Prairie series, those two series were kind of the ones that really got me interested in reading about new worlds, new time periods. I absolutely loved the historical fiction, and I still love historical fiction. I think that's why I love classics so much. But I just loved being able to go into a simpler life. I love just simple living, and it's a very hard question as well. But I think probably since I'm just starting out this Booktube channel, the question I would ask are, how did they get to where they are? How did they go from 0 subscribers to however many subscribers they have now? And then, I guess, how were they able to balance making videos and reading a lot of books for Booktube, and also being able to balance their own personal lives? How are they able to do all of that? So I think that those are probably the two main things I wonder when it comes to Booktube in general, is just how do people balance their lives when they're making Booktube channels, and then how did they get where they are? So those are the two questions I think I would ask my favorite Booktubers. So I think probably the main thing that I will struggle with a little bit when it comes to this Booktube channel is maybe just comparing myself to other channels. Maybe not necessarily in the how many subscribers I have or how many people are watching my videos, but maybe more so in just the types of books that I'm reading. Like, because I don't typically read like the most popular books. I don't read the newest books. I usually read classics or books that have been out for a while. Those are my kind of books. So I think that'll be something that I might think about quite a bit. And also, I think I might have the challenge of comparing how much I read to other booktubers. I follow a lot of booktubers that read a lot of books in 1 year, or even in 1 month they read a ton. And I read a lot, but I read slower, so I don't get through as many books as a lot of booktubers do. I think those will be my main challenges when it comes to my Booktube channel. I can't remember exactly when I started reading, but I'd say that I think 1st or 2nd grade was when I really started to make reading my own, and I was picking my own books that I was reading. So like I said before, like Little House on the Prairie and the American Girl series. I think probably around 1st and 2nd grade was really when I started to make reading my own, and it wasn't something that I just did with my mom or my dad. It was something that I was doing. I'll read anywhere, honestly, but I'd say that my favorite place to read is in bed in the mornings when I get up. I like to get up pretty early, and I like to read for maybe about an hour before I go to school or do whatever I'm doing that day. I love doing that. Or else any other time of the day, I like to just sit on the couch and snuggle up and read a book. I also love going to bookstores and reading. That is super fun to me. I love getting to read at bookstores. And then also, something I recently discovered is that I love just going down by a river or a creek or something and just sitting there in a chair and reading a good book. That is so relaxing and it's so much fun to me. I love it. So yeah, but I'll read pretty much anywhere though. Those are the main places, but I'll read wherever I am. I feel like I've kind of been answering this question throughout the video, but the main books that I like to read are classics. I love reading classics. Charles Dickens, Thomas Hardy, Jane Austen, the Brontes. Those are some of my favorite authors. I also love fantasy. I love The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I like YA also, but I haven't really been able to get too into those, but I'd like to definitely read some more. I definitely like to get more into YA books. So those are all the questions for the Booktube Newbie Tag. I hope you enjoyed getting to know a little bit about me, and I hope to see you next time for the next video. Bye!